Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Mindful Meditations on Art Jewelry. My name is Allison and I'm coming to you live today from Santa Fe from my living room and for our 10th week celebrating glorious works in art jewelry from master makers all over the world. My husband and I founded Patina Gallery in 1999 here in Santa Fe with the hope of sharing this wonderful jewelry with you and the world, and we hope to continue to do so. Today's mindful meditation is on a master goldsmith named Batho Gündra. And my husband and I met Batho more than a year ago in Munich, Germany. We were attending a jewelry fair there, and we were invited to a private gallery exhibition, and we were introduced to Batho and his works. And Batho speaks very little English, if any at all. And it really didn't matter because our language was one of connecting over beautiful jewelry. And I immediately fell in love with his works. And I can't wait to share these works with you today. Batho was born in Worms, Germany in 1957. And he attended as a young man the Hanau State Drawing Academy, where the emphasis was on jewelry arts and on stones. He became a jewelry, or I should say a journeyman, and his skill and his craft was as a goldsmith. And then in most of the 80s, he attended the Düsseldorf University of Applied Sciences and furthered his skill as a goldsmith. And he went on to Padua, Italy, to further his education. And he had great teachers who really influenced him and taught him how to think openly about the difference between handmade, one-of-a-kind art jewelry and mass-produced jewelry and the effect of history and culture on one's work. When he came back to Germany after that time in the late 80s, he developed his own workshop and his own gallery. And then in the early 90s, he got a teaching position at the Forchheim University, which is known all over the world for its fabulous jewelry program. And he has remained a teacher there all these years. But he is also a maker. But as a teacher, I will say that he really encourages his students to think critically about their work and to develop their work and to push it further. As a maker, he does the same, and his work is really distilled and highly geometric. And I think with that, I will turn the camera now and show you these fantastic necklaces, mostly, that I have on the table. But before I begin, as I always do, I want to just show you this fabulous piece that just came in. And as I said, history and culture, they all play a really important role in the work of Batho Gündra. So this necklace is his new ball chain necklace. And I actually have on two necklaces. One of the necklaces is boiled silver, this really white, fabulous silver, and the other is oxidized or blackened silver. And I have joined the two necklaces as a way of bringing this beautiful formality of this ball chain together and linking in, so there's a beautiful uniformity and a bringing together of the black and the white. So to me, that was fitting for where we are right now. So with that, I'm going to turn and I'm going to tell you and show you these fabulous works that are on the table in front of me. And let me turn the camera. Okay, so I have a series of necklaces here on the table which really tell a brilliant story about this maker and his influences. As I said, his pieces are highly geometric, and one of his favorite influences is a fabulous Italian architect named Carlo Scarpa. My friend Claire Kahn knows a lot about Carlo Scarpa. She talks about him in her work a lot. And Carlo Scarpa was a wonderful Italian architect who really thought about an entire building and landscape and history and design. And this necklace here is called the stair necklace, or what he calls the Treppenkette necklace. I have two of them. This one more with square forms overlapping. This one more with more rectangular forms overlapping. And if you look at and study there's a museum in the Veneto region in Italy, I think it's the Castel Vecchio, beautiful staircases that Carlo Scarpa designed. And Batho is so influenced by his work, really in all of his pieces, but more specifically in this staircase piece. It really changes when it's on the body. The links are just glorious. You can see the movement and how it moves with the body, and the attention to the detail in how these pieces are put together. There's a ball that's heated, and each link is overlapped, but it's slightly moved aside, and you have these long rectangles. and just a fantastic necklace on. When I first met Batho, this was the piece that I saw originally. And then, of course, the same one here with a more square feeling and design in beautiful gold. His preference really is to work with gold just for its purity, but there's this contrast of material. You also have the expense of the material, but it's more of a joy to work with and to create these beautiful geometric forms. Then we move on to this necklace here, which he calls Sun and Moon. He's done this piece in all gold, which he called the Sun Chain. In larger forms. This one is sun and moon. It's actually gold on one side, silver on the other, but you can turn it so you can see both sides when you wear it. His intention with this design was all about function, and his pieces are all about form and function. He wants them to be wearable, he wants them to be comfortable on the neck and on the body, and this is so well expressed here in this piece. There's a small dent that's set asymmetrically on all of the pieces, and the movement is hidden behind that dent, and you can see this sort of overlap and how the pieces are connected in this. And because of that asymmetric position and that little dent, it helps represent a counter movement to this shell element. And as I said, it could be worn on the gold side or the silver side, and he makes it larger, he makes it smaller. He's so brilliant in how he makes these pieces. Moving over here to this wonderful new necklace that he's just sent. This is his, I believe he calls it his disc chain. And it's fabulous the way he's taken what appears like washers. And he's created these links, and it's all about light and shadow and how it changes with every movement, what you see as you're wearing it. And again, it's sort of that staircase idea, that Carlo Scarpa idea of these modern elements and the effect on the body, thinking about the whole body. When these jewelry artists make these works, when you're looking at someone as skilled as Batho, an architect has to consider so much when they're designing a building, the space, the landscape. And the landscape for a jewelry artist is the body and how the piece will lay on the body. They have to think about the form, the function, the weight. And when he designs these necklaces, he really goes through a formal process of doing so. He starts with a sketch, and then he builds a prototype, because in the prototype he has to really then determine what the movement is going to be, how it's going to lay on the body, how it's going to feel on the body. It's a really sensual experience. And the pieces are not heavy, they're light, they have actually a beautiful weight. This has a really sort of formative, substantive weight about it, and just amazing the way it moves. This piece is called High and Low, and with this piece, again, it's just distilled beauty. He has these overlapping elements that are circles. This particular piece has a diamond that alternates on every piece, and then the combination and the way, again, that he overlaps these pieces. So the connections are hidden on the back with a beautiful ball, so it's comfortable on. And then he's got an earring, just a simple disc earring with a surface set diamond right in the middle. That is a perfect accent for this necklace, just gorgeous. This piece is an award-winning piece, which is called his barrel chain. This one has coral, and the beauty of this particular design is that it can be done in different stones. This has been done with coral. It could equally be done with lapis or another stone, hematite, diamonds. As this piece moves, you're never seeing the front or the back. You're seeing just the intrinsic beauty of this piece with every turn. You can see how graceful it is on. Also his mechanism, his locking mechanism, which, God, I'd have to find it. I hid it. Oh, I think it's right here. It has this beautiful, I don't think I can do this one with one hand. I know some of you have said it's so great how I can do these with one hand when I'm holding the camera. This one would probably take two, but it is hidden here, and it's pretty fantastic. But this won him an award. He's won several awards and has his works in museums around the world for what he does. But it's a glorious piece, the way the light moves, the way the pieces move, so there isn't a front or a back. And again, the movement, he's so successful in creating this idea of perfection in these pieces. But they still have a soul, and they really emit this energy. And then here is the piece that I'm wearing, but here represented in gold. And this commissioned piece, he calls it the ball chain in gold. He says he's traditionally crafted it. He's pulled it down through a draw plate. He has soldered it. He's laser welded it. He always thinks about several different things when he's designing a necklace. He thinks about the wearability. He thinks about what the length will be given the length of the links. All of these things have to come into play. He has to think about whether or not he's going to design his own tool to make this piece. Can he make it entirely by hand, or is he going to need to do something through a computer design? And again, the weight, there's so many things to consider when making these pieces. No two of these forms are the same. There's these different arrangement of these eyelets, but I think there's more than 20 elements here. And again, I'm wearing it in the black and silver, and in the silver, and here it is in the gold. But the concept is about producing these individual elements, these balls, these chains, and to create the highest distinction in design with these orbits that are spinning and moving. Everything is soldered and affixed into place. But you can see how graceful, even though it's highly geometric, and it seems relatively perfect, and it is. Just the idea of how it's going to lay on the body is so lovely. So really, this is the work of Batho, and we have these few pieces, maybe almost 9 or 10, and we're so thrilled to have his work here in Santa Fe at Patina Gallery. He has very few galleries around the world for what he does, but for me and the expression and what I want to share with the world, beautifully handmade and handcrafted works of art, and Batho is of the highest order when it comes to that. So this video maybe is a little shorter than ones in the past, but I want to thank you for tuning in today as I share the work of Batho Gündra. Stay tuned next week. We'll have some special things to share, which I'm not going to tell you about quite yet. But stay tuned. You'll learn about them next week as we go live once again from my living room at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Please enjoy Batho's work on our website at patina-gallery.com, and of course on social media. I really appreciate your watching and commenting, and it means so much to me as I go live with these videos. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Stay healthy and happy. Bye-bye.